y equals mx plus b. There it is. That's the specific, like that's as specific as we can possibly get. If you said distance rate time, to be honest with you, that is correct. The distance would have been the difference in the it would have been the difference in the page numbers. That's what the distance would have been, the distance covered. But yeah, absolutely, that could have been a distance rate time problem, but the more appropriate definition would be solving equations word problems. And for those of you that are interested in learning more about that, that's going to be Arithmetic Reasoning, unit number 6, okay? Solving equations word problems. Right there. Okay, that's definitely butchered, but whatever. So with that said, let's go ahead and get it going here. First things first, let's go ahead and, hey, read the question. What are we looking for here? And it says clearly, what was Barbara's average reading speed in pages per hour? Okay, sounds good. And so making it this far in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's safe to assume that you like the way I teach. And that's the truth for a lot of folks here. So if you wanna learn more about my program, where you can get all of my practice questions, including 15,000 that'll help you succeed with step-by-step solutions, a lot of them having video solutions, then go ahead and reach out to me. My phone number is 567-698-8867. Go ahead and reach out to me. That way you're not stuck in the same loop that so many people are stuck in with retaking the ASVAB over and over again when the solution to getting a higher score is right here in front of your face. Again, go ahead and text me, ask me about my full program, or click the link in the description to learn more about it. But at the end of the day, sign up, get the score you want, and that job you deserve. So here's how we can tell that we're dealing with a y equals mx plus b problem. Let me go ahead and just list this out for us here. Everybody write this down. Y equals mx plus b. So thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. The way that we know that we're dealing with m is per for sure. But let me go ahead and explain each of these little pieces really quick. Everybody, B, let me start from the end over here. B represents what when we're setting up an equation? Let's keep things simple. In English, what does B represent? What does B represent? The beginning amount, the initial amount, right? So let's write that out. That's your beginning amount. Your beginning amount. Okay, cool. Now, next, let's talk about the letter M. And the reason I'm going to be talking about X and Y last is because they're actually a pair. They're connected. So let's talk about M real quick. Everybody, M represents the slope. But in English, what does that represent? That's going to be your rate. Exactly. That represents the rate. And the key word that tells you that you're dealing with a rate is what, my party people? What's that key word? Yeah, that word per. That word per is what gives it away. Again, if you're having a little bit of trouble kind of keeping up, reading through these pieces, just make sure that you understand we're dealing with Unit 6, solving equations word problems. And again, don't look at that B over there. That is horrible. So with that, let me go ahead and talk about X and Y, and let me talk about why they're a pair. Everybody in the chat box, real quick, is it true that when you're dealing with the coordinate grid, X and Y, is it true that X and Y are written as a pair like that? Is it true that they're written as a pair? Yep. Yeah, it's true. I mean, if we go through that lesson in math knowledge or arithmetic reasoning, it's going to be just the same. X and Y are a pair, whether in pure math or in word problems. Basically, X represents typically time, and Y represents the result after that amount of time. So here is the result after X, and I'll put that in quotations there, or mini quotations, X time. So for example, if X represents minutes, then Y would be the result after that many minutes. If X represents hours, then Y would be the result, the page number or the miles or whatever, after that many hours. So X and Y are connected. And seriously, the moment that we get used to talking about this math equation in English, that's as soon as you'll be able to look at more problems and say, okay, cool, that's where this goes, that's where this goes here, this goes there, solve, and I'm done. So one more run through before I show you how to do it with this problem. It's like this. Y equals mx plus b. M is a rate. That's your slope, but it's a rate in English. The word per gives it away. Pages per hour, miles per minute. You know, those units with the word per in the middle, bam, that's a rate. B is always the beginning value. So whatever the problem tells you that we started on, you know, hey, initially we were here. That's your beginning amount. That's what B will always be. The beginning amount, B for beginning. And then again, X and Y are connected. X is typically time. Y is typically the result after that amount of time. So with that knowledge in our heads here, let's show you how stress-free this setup can actually be. Here we go. Everybody here, in 5 hours, Barbara read from page 122 to page 467. What was Barbara's average reading speed in pages per hour? Okay, let's break things down for ourselves. Everyone, what is the question saying that we're looking for? What was Barbara's average reading speed in pages per hour? What are we looking for in the question? What do you think from what I described here? Right, the rate. What gave it away for you again? What gave it away? Yeah, the word per. Right, in pages per hour. Pages per hour. So right there, boom, that gives it away. We are looking for this. So let me highlight that for us. Right over there. Bam. All right, cool. So here, starting from the beginning, in 5 hours, everybody, what do we think 5 hours is? The Y, the X, the B? What does that mean? Right, that's going to be X. That's the amount of time that was taken here. So boom, 5 hours, that's going to be X. Can you tell me what the result was after 5 hours? Who knows what the Y is going to be? Is it the 122 or the 467? Okay, I see a lot of us are saying the same thing, 467. Can you give me a reason why? Why is Y going to be 467? Thank you for explicitly stating that. Thank you. Yeah, why? It's because it's the ending amount. It's the end result. It's what we have as the result, what we have at the end. It's page 467. Yes or no before I continue? Does that make sense to everybody? Again, the X is the amount of time and Y is the result that you get after that amount of time. So here, that's going to be page 467. That's the page number that we get to. That's the end result after 5 hours. So with that said, everybody, what's going to be my value for B? What's going to be the value for B? The 122. Everybody, that's because B stands for the... That's because B stands for what? The beginning. Not begging, Lewis, but beginning. I think we have been confusing Dominic's behavior for ASVAB shirts. But yes, beginning amount. That's it right there. So boom, that's going to be the page 120. That's going to be page 122. So there we have it. Look at how crazy this is. Once you actually learn to speak the language of setting up a linear equation like this, once you set it up, if you know how to solve an equation, you're done. Watch. I know that Y is 467, so I'll write that out in place of the Y. Again, the Y, 467. Next up, we're looking for the M, so I'll just leave M as is. Then we know that X is going to be 5, so I'll put 5 right there. And then we're adding B, which is 122. So if you want to rewrite this, it would be written like this. 5M plus 122. Long story short, my party people, is this solvable? Yep, this is absolutely solvable. Absolutely. What's the first step that I'm going to take, everybody? What's the first thing I do? What's the first thing I'm going to do? Subtract. Subtract what? Where? With who? Subtract 122 where? Both sides. That's the simple answer right there. Subtract 122 from both sides. So that's exactly what I'll do here. And now I have an interesting piece of note here. It's something I want to take note of, and it's this. For those of you that were asking me, hey, coach, could this be a distance, rate, time problem? Could this be it? Absolutely. Watch this. Once I do the subtraction here, I'm going to end up getting, what, 345? Yeah, cool. So I get 345 equals 5m. Everyone, if you're doing a distance, rate, time version of this, this is the setup. Your distance is 345 pages that were read. Your rate is the number of pages per hour, and your time is 5 hours. Remember, 5 times m is the same as m times 5. If you wanted to look at it as a distance, rate, time problem, this is it. That would be it right there. Let me know if you did it as a distance, rate, time problem, and this is what you got. Let me know. But regardless, the way you're going to solve this is going to be by dividing by 5 on both sides. Exactly. So bam, right there. And then we'll go ahead and take 5 into 345, and we're good. So 5 into 34, that's going to be 6. And then 5 into 45 will be 9. Subtract 45 on both sides. That is a clean number there. Boom, 69, and we are good. The answer is 69 pages per hour. Yeah, and again, either way you could have gotten it done, whether you set it up as a y equals mx plus b problem or as a distance, rate, time. Remember, distance represents the difference from start to end, like how far you went. And here in the terms of pages, that's just the difference of the number of pages. And as always, my party people, thanks for watching. You can subscribe with that button right there, and you can also see a link to a video just like this one right up there. But most importantly, if you want the program and you want to raise your score the right way, every step of the way with my support, there's that link at the bottom left. Go ahead, click that link, watch the video on how the program works, subscribe, and raise your score.